Well, good afternoon, folks. A very good afternoon to each and every one of you. Welcome along to the first auction of 2022 here in the Harcourts Gold auction rooms. I was getting all prepared and ready to go for our first auction day of Thursday week, but Rosie Robinson, our lead agent, she's done such a phenomenal job here in bringing this campaign forward. No surprises to see our campaign being brought forward here at number 9 New Creek Mews out in Rolleston. Now today, folks, we're here to do a couple of things. Firstly, to inform you that the property at the aforementioned address has received a pre-auction offer at an acceptable level to our owners. The second thing we're here to do today is to find out whether or not we will hold an auction. Now, we will hold an auction today should I see bidding over and above that acceptable pre-auction offer level, which I will announce in a few minutes' time. If I don't see bidding over and above that level, I'll simply knock the property down to the initiator and the property will be sold at that level. Now, before we get too much further into things, it would be remiss of me not to mention the inevitable COVID-19 announcement. Yes, we do operate under the traffic light system these days. Colour orange is my understanding. Just make sure that we do the social distancing. Shouldn't be too much of a difficulty here this afternoon. Keep your masks on. Make sure that you've signed in and scanned in with Geordie and the team out the front. Sanitise those hands on the way, and if you can just take a moment to sanitise your hands upon your departure, that would be hugely appreciated. If you do become unwell in the next 14 days, if you could just let one of the Harcourts Gold management team know of that situation. There are a few hoops that we are required to jump through should that situation arise. Now, I'd like to firstly acknowledge and thank our owners. We thank them for their ease of access, for their presentation, but first and foremost for their choice in agency. We appreciate there is good choice out there in the marketplace, so we thank and acknowledge them for choosing to work with the great team here at Harcourts Gold. Speaking of which, let me take a few moments to introduce you to some friendly faces, of which you can only see half given the masks. However, they are entirely friendly. Mr. Chris Kennedy at the back of the room, business owner here within Harcourts Gold, also fellow auctioneer, I might add. Chris taught me everything I know, but Chris is giving me the opportunity to call the auction today. A number of our management team are here to help guide and assist should you need it. Margaret Danza from our Redwood office just up the road. Anna McKenzie's been floating around as well. Across this side, I've got Henry Cochran, and alongside Henry is Naomi Burge, a couple of our sales managers within our Papanui office. Now, most importantly is Alana Cosgrove, because Alana drives all the technology and the presentation that you see up on screen, so you can just follow proceedings throughout this afternoon. And she also shares all of our auctions out via our website and out through our YouTube channel. So anyone joining us this afternoon, a very good afternoon to you as well. Now, I know the team at Harcourts Gold, they will have made all the relevant documentation for today's proceedings available to you. That's the LIM, the title, and the contract from which we work from. Now, that's been approved by the Real Estate Institute of New Zealand and the Auckland District Law Society. Now, let me take you to that contract now. As you might expect, there are a few rules and regulations that we must adhere to when it comes to any auction that we call. Things are done ever so slightly differently today because this is a brought forward auction. What it means is when I announce that number that you're all here to hear about, that is effectively our reserve. So we're on the market and we are selling right from that point onwards. What that means is I won't place any bids on behalf of my owners, so no vendor bids will come into play. I may give some suggestions or encouragement in terms of the increments by which any bids are raised, and I can also refuse a bid if I deem it not to be in the very best interests of my owners. The conclusion of the auction, that's the part you're here for, is when that hammer comes down to the rostrum. If it falls in your favour, you are the successful purchaser. Before you commence your celebrations here this afternoon, we will ask a few simple things of you. We'll get you to complete some paperwork. We'll get you to sign that paperwork, arrange to make a payment of a neat and precise 10% of the purchase price, and then thirdly and finally complete the GST information, which is outlined in Schedule 1. So folks, that's how things will play today. Very transparent is the auction process here. Very shortly I'll announce the acceptable pre-auction offer level, and we will find out if we have an auction here this afternoon or not. Now, I've already made mention of Rosie Robinson. She's been our properties ambassador, very ably representing our lovely owners here in recent times at number 9 New Creek Mews in Rolleston. This is an estate in freehold. It is 861 square metres more or less of that freehold parcel of land, which is lot 68. deposited plan 471444, which is all outlined in that certificate of title that Rosie's been ably filing through to your inboxes in recent times. Tuesday, the 1st of March 2022 is the conjoined settlement and possession date set down in front of me. You may have made prior arrangements in writing with our owners, which is absolutely fine. Schedule 2 outlines the list of chattels. I won't go through those one by one. And those further terms of sale, well, you bid and you buy on that basis here today, folks. They are clauses 22 through to 23. Let's just go and take one last look at number 9, if we may. This is really an absolute stunner of a home. No surprises, as I mentioned at the start of today's proceedings, to see our campaign brought forward, because this really is quality real estate. I love homes that are situated at the end of cul-de-sacs, because you get that nice and quiet outlook. If you've got little offspring, children, grandkids, those sorts of things, well, you know that they can play nice and safely at the end of the cul-de-sac at the same time. You get this post-quake constructed home at single level. I think there's more extras here than in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, there's no doubt about that. From the outdoor bath, which runs with both hot and cold water, you've got the smoker there as well for your latest catch. Goodness me, and what a catch this property is. This is an absolute real winner in every sense of the word. You've got 4 generously proportioned bedrooms on offer. They will await you come day's end, and there's plenty of space on the garaging and car park front at the same time. I don't see a much better way to start your new year than to getting here at number 9 New Creek Mews in Rolleston. Folks, the acceptable pre-auction offer level that has come in and been accepted by our owners is $990,000. So 990,000. I'll just let you simmer over that for a few moments, and then I ask for $1 million from somewhere in the room. What do you think, folks? Do we have an option here today? Otherwise, I sell at 990. First call at $990,000 for number 9 New Creek Mews. On the market and selling at 990.
991.
991, absolutely. Looking for 10, but I'll take 1/10 of it and puts up $1,000 at 991. We have an auction today, folks, and we sell.
993.
993. Interesting numbers today, but that's good. Keeps me on my toes early in the year at 993. Puts 2 together. Doubles our increment. Do we double again? You go through to 997 perhaps. First chance at 993, selling.
995.
995, matches your 2. Do you put another 2 together? 997, there we go, as we tippy-toe our way towards $1 million. Always ironic. I always suggest you get there first. Stamp your authority on proceedings, but at 997, it's a nice Porsche. 998, there we go. And 999 you'd say? Or straight to $1 million?
$1 million.
$1 million, confidently. At $1 million, there we go. At 1 and a whole lot of zeros after that. Easy to work out the deposit. Henry, you'd be a chance of working that one out at that level, wouldn't you? At $1 million, 4 bedrooms. Easy living here. Post-quake construction, you'll sleep easy in one of those 4 bedrooms. First call, second chance.
$1 million and 1.
And 1.
2 more.
2 more. At $1 million and 3. At $1 million and 3. Social proof this is good real estate. Someone else wants to buy the home that you'd dearly love to live in. At $1 million and 3. Selling first. Twice.
$1 million and 5.
$1 million and 5.
$1 million and 7.
$1 million and 7. Puts up the bond at 007. At $1 million and 7 the bid. Selling. Who to? I'll let you decide that. At $1 million and 7 and we're out, or we're back in? We're out. Public admission then. At $1 million and 7, looks like you've done it then. I'll give you 3 more chances to change your mind. Regret's a terrible emotion, I'm told. First, second, third call at $1 million and 70. $1 million and 7, I should say. That's a slip of the tongue, but I'm sure our owners would be ecstatic if you paid $1 million and 70. Delighted to announce at $1 million and 7, 9 New Creek Mews. It's going, and it's sold here. Well done. Congratulations to Unbidders. Thank you for your keen bidding this afternoon. All the very best in your property search. Well, folks, that wraps up proceedings here this afternoon. Haven't got another one to sell you today, but we look forward to seeing you in a couple of Thursdays' time, where we will kick off our auction program for the remainder of the 2022. Thank you very much, folks.